Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Stranger Things 4, Volume 2. If you haven't seen our vlog on Volume 1, or if you haven't even seen Volume 1, then we're going to try to keep our spoiler-free thoughts brief, but know that we are talking about the conclusion of a season. So it's going to be really hard not to spoil the season while talking about it. But the long and short of it is, it's a really fucking awesome, bombastic finale to the season. It is obviously the biggest finale they've done yet in terms of just the overall scale and the wildness. It ties up most of the loose ends, though there are some things left open for the next season to explore. Mainly a lot of subplots with characters. Their personal issues are left open for the next season to explore.
Yeah, also, oh man, like, the next season's gonna be berserk.
Oh god, yeah. They set up at the very end, it ends on a cliffhanger leading into the next season, and you just know with that cliffhanger, it's setting up one wild season, you know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. Also, bring your tissues. Not all of our heroes make it out of this. We'll talk about who specifically in the spoiler section.
We'll talk about who dies and who does.
But everyone out there that was doing like a who's gonna die poll, yeah, you guys weren't wrong. Someone will.
Yeah.
Some people will.
Jeez, yeah. Well, they kept you guessing right up until the end.
Oh god, like
go.
There was a point where I was like, I honestly have no idea what's about to happen. I have like some like thoughts of where this could go, but I honestly am not sure.
Because they did that thing where they marked every other person. They marked every other character for that.
And they kept doing that thing where they kept having characters have these little sweet moments, like the calm before the storm.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like there's enough sweet moments with each character to where any of them are having that moment that you give a character right before they're gonna die.
Yeah. And at the end of the season, like in the last episode, everybody's life is in danger.
Oh yeah.
Like
hardcore.
Directly in danger.
And every single plot ties into the main plot. It all feeds into the same ending. Everyone's dealing with like even though every character is scattered throughout the world in this, like there's characters in Russia, there's characters in fucking like Salt Lake, Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, and there are characters in fucking Hawkins. All of their plots are leading towards the same end, the same goal.
Get Vecna.
Yeah, get Vecna.
To stop him from doing whatever the fuck
It truly feels like you're watching a D&D campaign and they're entering the final battle with the final boss.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it feels like.
Guy is,
you know, but
right over there.
Like Final Fantasy, it leaves it open to where, you thought it's over.
Oh, dude, like this season ends like the halfway point of a Final Fantasy.
Exactly. And we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section, but if you've been to the halfway point of a lot of the classic Final Fantasy games, you'll kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking like 5 through 9.
Yeah,
you know,
they all kind of have those moments. But yeah, it's really fucking good. I highly recommend it. And with that said, we're gonna move on to the spoilers because I can't.
We can't talk about this part without spoiling basically everything.
Everything we like about this season in the first vlog that we did all still stands. Yeah. And everything that's good about this season still stands. And I'm still don't care how long the season is. I think I wouldn't cut a fucking frame, you know?
Yeah. I did appreciate, however, that because we're entering the late 80s.
Yeah.
I'll spoil this for you because it's not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
We go out because we're entering the late 80s and, you know, possibly entering the 90s. We're going out with Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah, that's a great moment. Yeah.
You know, I was like, ooh.
These last 2 episodes actually have a lot of really great song cues. There's some metal music, like involving the Eddie character.
Yeah.
That song you heard in the trailer, the Journey song that they mixed in with the Stranger Things theme, that comes back. And of course, Kate Bush comes back many times in the finale.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's like that song helps encapsulate the whole plot.
What I like about it is they recontextualize it every time they use it.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics still have meaning, they just mean something different in each scene.
Yeah. It's some of the best use of like music since like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
I would agree.
You know.
So yeah, watch Stranger Things. It's on Netflix. It's the only way to watch it, unless I don't know if they put out Blu-rays for it, but if they have, you can wait for that.
Well, they haven't put it out for like season 4.
Not for season 4 yet, no. So watch Stranger Things on Netflix, and let us move on to the spoilers.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Okay. Whoa. This thing is going to keep you guessing right up to the end.
Oh, 100%.
There are so many twists and turns in these last, 5 hours?
Yeah, absolutely. Because all the plots collide. The plot with 11 relearning her powers and working with Dr. Brenner and all that stuff, that ends up recolliding with the Mike and Argyle and Jonathan plot. Because basically the government arrives and tries to shut down and assassinate 11. And while that's happening, Mike and that crew with Jonathan arrive just in time to come and save her from the government thing. And that's a moment that's kind of left open because that general dude is still alive and he's obviously still after 11 at the end of the season.
It's not totally resolved.
Yeah. And Dr. Brenner is fucking killed by the soldiers.
Yeah.
And there's this great fucking moment where Dr. Brenner is basically asking for like equal parts forgiveness and closure before he dies, and 11 just doesn't fucking give it to him.
Doesn't give it to him.
Just fucking walks away. Goodbye, Papa. And lets him die.
Yeah, because the entire time he's been fucking with her.
Yeah. So finally
he's been emotionally manipulating her the entire time.
So a reoccurring plot throughout the entire show, the Dr. Brenner plot line, over. Done.
Yeah.
He's dead. Book closed.
Yeah.
But the general, still hunting 11, that's still open, even at the end of the season.
Yeah. So is the guy, the doctor.
The other doctor.
The doctor from the Hawkins lab. He's still
the one
alive.
introduced in season 2.
Yeah.
The guy played by the guy from Aliens.
Yeah.
He's still alive. He's been captured by the government. I'm sure that's going to tie into how the government finds 11 in the next season somehow. We'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've already seen how they torture people for information, so we know that guy's going to be fucked.
Yeah. But the big thing at the end of this is that Hawkins itself becomes a portal into the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Apocalypse style.
To put it into D&D terms, it turns out that Vecna is trying to cast some sort of spell that requires 3 sacrifices to open the gate. 4 sacrifices.
Yeah.
4 sacrifices to open the gate in terms of D&D terms.
Yeah, and they have to they have to be performed at these people have to be killed at specific locations.
Yes. In order to open the gateway to the Upside Down, so that the Upside Down and our world are basically turned into one and the same, and they leak into each other. Basically, what I was saying that where this show's probably going. Turns out I was right. That is Vecna's plan, 100%. Yep. And the Hawkins crew, the people that are still in Hawkins, Steve, Nancy, and them, they basically vow to hunt down Vecna in the Upside Down and slay him. Go into the dragon's lair and slay the dragon.
Yep.
Kill Jackula as their fucking metaphor. And so they come up with this very elaborate plan that involves distracting him with Max, who we've already established that Max has been cursed by him. So he obviously wants to use Max as one of the sacrifices. So distracting him with Max while the rest of the crew ventures into the Upside Down, while there's a crew left behind to put the music back on Max's head so that she can live and survive when it becomes goes too far. While the crew in the Upside Down, one half of them are there to distract all the bats that are protecting Lord Vecna, and the other half of them are to sneak into Lord Vecna's lair, which is his house, the old fucking house with the clocks and shit, and light him on fire and basically, burn him at the stakes, so to speak.
Yeah.
And this plan doesn't go well.
Yeah, it goes completely awry.
The guys that go into Vecna's lair get captured by the wall tentacles and they're fucking being strangled. Fucking Max is caught by Lord Vecna, and the school bullies who had formed their weird lynch mob over the Hellfire Club find out that Max and their former teammate are at that house, and so they go to that house and they stop him from being able to save Max.
Yeah.
And start beating the shit out of him and his little sister, while Eddie and Dustin are trapped inside the Upside Down version of Eddie's trailer park house. While the bats are surrounding it and trying to get it in to kill them. So it's just everyone's just super fucking fucked. And their only reason why they're saved is because 11 figures out that she doesn't actually have to go to Hawkins to save them. She can use the power she learned in season 2 to actually go into people's minds.
Yeah.
And go and fight Vecna in Max's mindscape.
Since they know that Vecna is going to try to take over Max, if she hooks up that mental link, like she'll be there.
Well, because Vecna is linked into the Max, and Max can go into Vecna's mind, and Vecna can go into Max's mind. That means if she links into Max, she can go into Vecna.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's actually what turns the tide at the very end, is 11 coming in and fighting. But even then, 11 proves to not be powerful enough to take on Vecna at first.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not until like while all seems lost and Mike is reminded that he's the heart of the team.
Yeah.
And he confesses his love finally vocally to 11, that 11 is able to garner the strength to finally take down Vecna, while the people in the Upside Down are let free, because there's another plot that we're forgetting to talk about, which is the Russian plot.
With fucking Hopper.
They realize there's a piece of the Mind Flayer that's in Russia, and it's controlling all the Demogorgons and the Demodogs in the Russian prison, that at this point in the series, they're all let loose in the prison and they're killing all the Russian soldiers. They learn of what the children are planning, and they realize they can probably help the children, since it's all one linked hive mind. If they severely injure the Demodogs and the Demogorgons and the Mind Flayer that's inside them in Russia, it will hurt the rest of them in Hawkins.
Yeah.
You know, and it does work. It actually does work. It weakens Vecna enough to release the kids that were trapped by the fucking tentacles, so that they can light Vecna on fire, shoot him with a sawed-off shotgun, and throw him out a goddamn window. But unfortunately, they're too late.
Yeah.
He gets Max. Max
dies.
Max dies, and 11 does not accept this. So 11 tries to essentially attempt a resurrection spell.
Yeah, she tries to raise the dead.
In D&D terms, and it doesn't quite work, because, as Dr. Brenner established earlier in the show, Vecna doesn't just kill people. He essentially consumes everything they are: their personality, their memories, their essence.
Their soul.
Essentially, their essence.
Yeah.
He steals their soul.
Yeah, so her body is completely vacant.
Yeah, so while she brought Max back to life, Max is in a coma and there's no one home.
Yeah.
You know, that's why every time she tries to go into Max's mind, like we see, it's just an empty void. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
No memories, no nothing. And that's where the Max plot is left off at the end of the season.
Yeah. She's Han Solo and trapped in carbonite at the end of Empire, you know.
And the other death, now Max might be savable. Like, it might be one of those, once you truly defeat Vecna, her personality will return. Right. But the person we absolutely lose this season is Eddie.
Yeah.
Poor Eddie has a moment where, in order to make sure the plan works, he decides to sacrifice himself to distract the bats, so that both Dustin can get away, and so the bats won't go back to protect Vecna.
Yeah, so they won't go back and help back.
And it's important to him because earlier in the season, it really destroyed him that he ran when Christy was killed.
Yeah, even though,
Chrissy was killed.
Yeah, eats him up, even though, there really was nothing he could do, because, first of all, he would have had to have known it was a possibility.
Yeah.
Second of all, even if he had, it was the first kill. Yeah. It was the first significant moment where a hint of anything going wrong happened.
Both Eddie and Argyle are the hidden MVPs of these last two episodes.
Yes.
Because obviously 11 kicks ass and does awesome shit. Obviously the team that goes in and actually takes down temporarily Vecna with the fire and the shotguns, they're pretty awesome. But Eddie's the one that makes sure that plan is possible by putting on his Bard music show.
Yes.
With playing fucking Master of Puppets, which is one of the great music cues of this season.
Master!
To distract all the bats. And then when all seems lost, further distracting the bats by basically sacrificing his body to them. You know, fighting them until they just start eating him alive. It's a brutal fucking death. It's very reminiscent of Bob's death in season 2.
It is. Yeah.
He basically had the Bob fate.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they're teasing that it's going to happen to Hopper. Hopper, because there's a point in which, much like in season 2, Joyce is watching a fucking television screen while Hopper's trying to distract the dogs, and they're chasing him, and it's very much the same scenario. as in season 2.
Yeah. Just like, oh God, I'm gonna watch another man I love die.
And Argyle,
by one of these fucking things.
And Argyle's the MVP because he's the one who figures out how to get her an oxygen deprivation tank so that she can go fight Vecna.
Yeah. Because they're like, we need a tub, and he's just sort of like, hey, my dude, yeah, I got this. And you're like, what the fuck is he gonna do?
So he goes to the local pizza place that he works at. It's not the one he works at, but it's one of
it's like one of the franchises.
Because he knows that they have a big fucking tub that they store dough. And that if they fill that tub with water and then use the massive amounts of salt that this pizza place uses on a daily basis, because it's fucking fast food, then they can create an oxygen deprivation tank through that.
Yeah.
And so fucking Argyle in the end, after everyone's mocking him this entire time for always being kind of stupid, he's the one who figures it out in the end.
Yeah. He's the guy who, he's a great guy who notices the thing that should have been obvious, but everyone missed.
Like the tire tracks?
Like the tire track.
Yeah. Like when they think they're lost and they can't find the facility that Eleven's being left at, and he's the only one who notices the tire tracks going off the path.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's just sort of like, went that way. How do you know? Take a look, my bro.
Take a look. And, and they're fat tires. You know what that means? Military. Absolutely. It's fucking great. Man, this season had me on the edge of my goddamn seat. And these last 2 episodes, like, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm on an adrenaline high from it, to be honest.
Well, like, you get, oh God. So the epilogue of the story is like a good 20, 30 minutes.
It's one of the longer epilogues they've had because it's clearly setting up season 5.
Yeah. They're showing you what happened to Hawkins after it blew up.
After the fucking gate was open and this giant X was carved out of it, basically from creating a giant X that's a portal to the upside down.
Yeah.
Unlike other seasons where the show often does this thing where everyone thinks they've won, and then there's like a hidden thing that they don't see that hints that it's going to continue in the next season.
Oh yeah,
this one they're all aware.
They know it's
because at the very end, when Hawkins has like rescue crews there that are trying, and everyone's hiding in the gym because everything just fucking collapsed, and like people are trying to donate shit, and everyone's just trying to pick up from the rubble. All of a sudden, it starts snowing. But not snowing, it's the fucking particles from the upside down.
Yeah, it's the ash from the upside down.
And everyone sees it. And basically, like, at the very end, it's 11 and a bunch of the people that have decided to hide out at the cabin because 11 is still wanted by the military.
Yeah.
So they're trying to hide in the cabin. Coming out of the cabin, looking outside over Hawkins and seeing the Mind Flayer in the clouds. Now, one of the big things that's revealed in this is the Mind Flayer, it turns out, was Lord Vecna the whole time. That basically it was one of Vecna's many forms that he's created.
Like when he first enters the Upside Down, or wherever it is he's fucking, because you get the feeling that he's traveled way beyond.
Oh yeah, because that world that he's in doesn't even look like the Upside Down.
It
looks like the Upside Down's like an in between those two worlds.
Exactly.
Like it's like the purgatory in between one world and the other.
Yeah. And he finds the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
And it's just this thing.
It's this giant cloud, like this thing that he's basically taking control of. You know?
He takes control of it, and
he forms the spider like image that we know of it. Those like all the legs, like because of all of his obsession with spiders, like all the spider imagery we had with his flashbacks. Like it turns out those were also Mind Flayer, like fucking imagery.
So it's like the Mind Flayer is like is a thing that he has fucking control over.
Which what happens when wizards in these stories tame some sort of ancient. Like
it always
elemental
turns
creature.
On them.
There's a point in which it fucking eats them, right? Like, so that's one of my predictions for next season.
Yeah, and it's the thing that's so freaky about it is that by the end of it, like when we say like Hawkins is like fucked, I mean like by the end of the epilogue and the final shot, that shit, they're pillars of fire.
Oh yeah,
you know, like pillars of fire.
Hell, the gates of hell have opened up.
busted open.
Yeah.
And like all of downtown, like fucking Hawkins is just whatever has happened.
And that's the tease for the next season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plots that are kind of left for next season to really explore. The Jonathan and Nancy plot, where Jonathan and Nancy are kind of drifting further away from each other, that's not concluded in this season.
No.
That's left open. They're still trying to make it work by the end of this season, but it's very obvious from their exchanges that they're not quite there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like my prediction for that is that like Jonathan and Nancy are probably going to realize they're not working out, and she's probably going to end up with Steve because like this season kind of really built up.
Yeah.
Steve again.
She's good. It turns out maybe she is going to be like her mom, but have a much better, guy.
Robin plot, they actually did do what I thought they were going to do. Where it's like at the very end of the show, finally the girl's going to show up and talk to her or whatever. But what they didn't do is they didn't fully commit to it yet. They're just friends right now.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a thing they can explore in the next season is now that they're actually talking to each other.
Yeah.
And that's really adorable. Prepare your fucking tissues because
man.
Like when Eddie dies, it's hard. But then when Dustin goes and talks to Eddie's uncle.
Yeah.
Talking about what a hero he was and how he died trying to save the town. And even though the uncle doesn't quite understand what he means by that, it's still a very emotional fucking scene.
Yeah.
Also, on a happier note, like 11 and Hopper reuniting.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's tears in a different way.
I always left it
the door open
3 inches. I always left it 3 inches.
God damn it! The minute she said that, I
almost lost it. I almost lost it at that moment because it was just like, oh my god,
it's so good. They did the Inception thing. The thing Inception did with the pinwheel.
Yeah.
They totally did that with the 3 inches open on the door. I was like,
and small little details when they first walk back into that cabin and they're rebuilding it to like create like a safe haven for her while the military is looking for her. She goes into what used to be her room and she shuts the door, but it doesn't shut all the way. It's 3 inches open
still 3 inches open.
Because she's using her telekinetic powers, so she left it there intentionally. And it's just like, oh, I like that detail.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing is they also establish at the very end that Vecna and Will are still linked.
Yeah.
He can still feel the Mind Flayer's presence and in turn feel Vecna's presence. So he knows that Vecna's not dead. I'm suspecting that Will is actually one of the gifted kids, but doesn't realize it.
Yeah, but they didn't catch him.
Yeah, they didn't catch him. They didn't do experiments on him. But if they had discovered him, he would have ended up.
Yeah, which is why one of those that's why he wanted him specifically from the beginning. Yeah,
that's why I'm suspecting. It could just be that he's just marked by Vecna, and so he's got the curse.
Entirely possible. But the thing,
because if you think about it,
from making it look like Will being targeted was random in the beginning. In the first one, it's kind of random.
Yep.
And now it's starting to look like it's actually all part of the plot.
Yeah, it depends upon what direction they want to go with it. If they want to go with he's marked kind of like Max was, so Max can kind of feel his presence, or if they want to go with he can feel him for the same reason 11 can. Many people have actually pointed out that the language used to talk about Vecna when he was a kid from his parents, he was a gifted kid, or he was whatever.
That's right, they say the same thing about Will.
They say the same thing about Will, same words, so I'm starting to suspect that maybe he's going to turn out to be gifted like 11 is, but we'll see.
He's got a little something, because they also, one of the things that he
did play the wizard
season
he did play the
before
wizard he was taken, and then 11 became the wizard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, one of the things that I think is really kind of one of the plot lines that I kind of wish the show hadn't dropped. I mean, to be fair, there's no room for it here. There's no room for it in this season. This season's already jam-packed.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, which was the other psychic kids.
Yeah. 8 and the other kids that they're rolling with.
Yeah.
I really hope they bring 8 back for the final season just to wrap everything back up.
Yeah, because you could tell that her abilities were basically, she's illusionist.
Yeah. It would also be kind of cool because at the very end, I think it's one of those they're going to need all hands on deck.
Yeah, most likely.
And having more than one wizard would be very useful in this final scenario. Now that the gates have been opened.
Yeah. I'm wondering what major surprise they have in store for the final season?
Yeah, like I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. Obviously, they've planned it because like they
know where they're going.
They pitched it. They greenlit it before this came out, so they know where they're going. Like, I'm excited. Because this season was like a season 3 was my favorite season, and this I think is now the new favorite season.
I can't praise it enough. It's really, 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 really good. And man, fuck the haters.
Oh yeah, well, the Stranger Things haters I just don't get. Like, it's whatever. You don't like the show, that's fine, or you don't like season X, whatever. I like the whole show.
Yeah, no, it's like the 2 is not quite as good as 1, but 3 was better than both of them, and then 4 is better than 3.
That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of the exact way I would ratio it. But even at its worst, even at
its worst, it's a great show.
It's a very great and compelling show. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Right?
Yeah. You know? Like it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. How this is for Gen Xers what the show Happy Days was for baby boomers.
Oh yeah, like harkening back to that nostalgia.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering what the millennial one will do.
That's a good question.
What in the next 20, 30 years, what will millennials and Gen Z look back at and go this is the thing that we made with those same kind of nostalgic objects.
I'm sure something will take that place at some point. There's been many shows that have been targeting that kind of that kind of vibe, but nothing has kind of hit the consciousness the way Stranger Things did yet.
Correct.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Not enough time has passed.
Yeah.
They're trying to, if you're chasing the millennials right now, you're still kind of chasing the present.
Yeah.
And even though everyone's kind of moving on to Gen Z because they don't know what else to do.
We're going to be quickly moving on to the generation after Gen Z soon.
I know.
Because a lot of Gen Z, everyone's doing that whole Gen Z thing, but a lot of Gen Zers are now in their mid-20s, At least the elder Gen Zers,
We'll see how. So we'll see.
This season's great. I don't even know what more to say. I love everything about it. The low moments made me cry. The high moments made me cheer. The musical moments always had me singing with the goddamn songs.
Yeah. Well, they did they've just done such a great job because. It is funny looking at it and going, no, there actually is fucking something kind of fun about and very emotional about the on-the-nose music cue.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about it that kind of gets you.
Master of Puppets is super on the nose.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because we're talking about Vecna there. He's literally the Master of Puppets.
Master!
Especially since it's either right before that or right after that they reveal that Vecna is fucking the Mind Flayer, and the Mind Flayer's connected to all the Demogorgons and all the Demodogs so he's controlling all of them.
Yep.
So he's the Master of Puppets, right?
Obey your master.
Yeah. I like what they do with the soundtrack with this is that they bring back they reprise things like the Kate Bush song, but it's mixed in with the Stranger Things theme.
Yeah.
And it really works. It really works well. It seems it feels like one flawless move from the score to the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh man, funny thing though, every time I hear Journey in a movie, I keep thinking of the end of Tron.
I can see that. Yeah. So yeah, my fellow Gorehounds, Stranger Things, season 4, volume 2. Highly recommend. I recommend the whole season. I recommend if you have not started Stranger Things yet, watch it because you're gonna want to watch all this shit before you get to the final season. If this season's any indication, because this season clearly needed you to watch season 3 at the very least.
Yeah,
season 1 and 2 are also necessary, but 3 was super essential for all the emotional beats.
Everything is coming together, starting to come together.
It's all tying together very well, so you're going to want to catch up to Stranger Things if you have not done so yet, because when the final season drops, you're going to want to be there. Trust me.
Yeah. I was still amazed that they still made a Benny's reference.
Oh yeah, Benny's Burgers?
Yeah, Benny's Burgers.
Rest in peace, Benny, the first major shocking death of the show.
Yeah.
Benny's actually one of the reasons why when when the doctor was trying to say like I did everything to try to save and protect you, I'm like bullshit. Why did you kill Benny then? Like,
yeah, he was just some dude.
Yeah, Benny didn't do shit. He was being nice to her. You could have just walked in and be like, here, this is my daughter, and took her back. But instead, you went and fucking killed him. Like,
yeah,
bullshit, Mr. Brenner.
Mr. Brenner, yeah, you piece of crap. You ain't no Professor X. You ain't even a Magneto.
No, well, because Vecna's Magneto. Like, yes, he's the one that has determined that humanity is not worth it, and that he's the superior being because he's got the powers. You know.
Yep.
He is Magneto, and he's even created his own little world.
Yep.
You know. Yeah. And with that said, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Counting Jack. I also stream on YouTube and Twitch. My Twitch channel is Count_Jackula. Got that? Then I'll see you there. How about you?
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just be sure to I almost mixed up things there. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema and I'll be there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And now here's the point where I say, just be sure to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag Master of Demogorgons. Use the hashtag Master of Demogorgons. That way I know, that way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows you watched this vlog all the way through. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, we recorded a bunch of vlogs this week, so I should probably get to editing them and putting them up. So, peace out, and I'll catch y'all later.
This is music!
Oh my God, Eddie was speaking my language in that moment. I need music. This is music.
You know.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, man.